going on, Cubs fam? We are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Top 25 video. We have been doing this series, believe it or not, for almost 3 years. And every time we've done this list, every single month, we have a group of people vote on who, in their opinion, are the best 25 characters in this game. Now, normally I have a group of experts voting on this poll, but this month I have invited all of you to vote and share your opinions on the top 25 characters in this game. The list is actually a lot different this month because we have so many different opinions, people from all different areas of the game, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy a shakeup this month. Also, I'm happy to say today's video is sponsored by Star Trek Fleet Command, a new strategic MMO game on iOS and Android with some of the dopest graphics I've ever seen in a mobile game. You get to experience the Star Trek universe like you've never seen before by recruiting iconic characters such as Spock or Captain Kirk, or by leveling up iconic ships like the Klingon D4 class or the Star Trek Enterprise that we all know and love. Probably what I love most about this game is there is tons of content. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, content that you guys can enjoy. Lots of events and new places to explore across the entire galaxy. Boldly go where nobody else has gone to explore new civilizations, new worlds, and check out tons of different areas of the galaxy. There's literally so many places you can go in this. It's huge. Go ahead and download the link down below in the description to not only support this channel, you guys do want to support this channel, right? But to also get the feeling that you, my friend, are an important part of the Star Trek universe. All right, live long and prosper. I can't do this. I can't close these two fingers. I try so hard. Can anyone else not do that? All right, getting back into the video, I did bring in a friend to talk about the top 25 list with us today, and it is the one, the only Gridden. What's going on, Gridden? How you doing today?
Wait, hang on, we're friends now?
Actually, yeah, we hate each other.
Okay, let's stop that last video.
So we started playing. Yeah, okay, you know what? Let's just get into the list. Let's not even get into this. Number 25 we've been streaming on Twitch all night, guys, and we're a little slap happy now. All right, number 25 is Jolie Bindo. We got Darth Treya in at number 24. The Mandalorian in at number 23. Mando made it for the first time on the list. We'll talk a little bit about that. C-3PO up at number 22. Nest at 21. Fives at 20. Yoda at 19. Brood Alpha at 18. Rex, and then Han Solo at 16. So there's the bottom 10 on the list. Gridden, how are you feeling about that? Let me move us over so we can see where we're at here. All right. How you feeling about Mando on the list? Let's start there.
Mando on the list, I think he absolutely deserves to be there, really.
Yeah.
He has a very unique aspect with his kit with the disintegrate. It saved my butt tonight, actually.
Okay, all right.
But no, the Mandalorian has, and that's an incredible kit to get that disintegrate off.
Yeah.
I think he absolutely deserves to be there, and I think actually that's a reasonable spot for him, because there's people, although disintegrate's amazing, you could see that it's kind of like if you make that work, it's pretty awesome, but you could see where other people would rank higher than him. So I'm glad he made the list. I'm really glad he made the list.
One thing I will call out of the characters that they released with The Mandalorian, I'd say Cara Dune definitely does not deserve to be on this list at this point. There's just not a logical place to put her yet. If she got the right squad, maybe she would. But for now, just not a whole lot of use. But I feel like Greef Karga is probably the better character between Mandalorian and Greef, if you consider their overall impact on especially the bounty hunter faction. However, so I would say I believe the Mandalorian does fit at number 23. You don't see Greef Karga on this list, however, and so I think Greef got snubbed, my personal opinion, but the Mandalorian is still in a good spot. An insta-defeat is going to have a lot of use. Every time I've used the Mandalorian so far, only at Gear 11, with the Zetas on him, I've won battles against Night Sisters. It's where I'm using him, and that to me is extremely useful. Extremely useful to have that in there. The team I'm running is Bosk lead with Mandalorian, so it helps give them that survivability. I'm throwing Watt in there as well for the 3v3, which is working great. So any other standouts in this bottom 10 to you?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised Fives isn't higher.
Okay.
I thought Fives would have been higher. I ranked him in one of my top influential Zetas in the game, actually.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that because his Zeta, I feel like really takes a lot of the 501st really to the next level.
Hmm.
And even if you have if you have a Relic 7.5s, even with like Gear 8, Gear 9, Gear 10,
Yeah.
other, Rex and ARC Troopers and so on and so
Uh-huh,
forth,
uh-huh.
still a monster, transforms that whole team. I'm a little surprised he's not higher, but at the same time, 20, that's still solid. There are people that are better than him, but that's the only one that stands out to me a little bit.
I do think yeah. If you think about everyone in relative to where they're at on the list, it feels like all right. Mandalorian's ranked pretty low. He's in the bottom 10.
Mhm.
Five's in the bottom 10. But there's like 170 plus characters in this game at this point,
Yeah.
something like
And
that.
at
So
the
making the top 25, that's only
still good.
5 squads. Top
Yeah.
25. That's only 5 squads. So I think it's worth noting. However, I do feel like I agree with you, especially because Fives. He is one of those, out of every character on the 501st team, he's probably the character that influences your attack strategy the most. You just,
Yeah.
if you attack anyone other than 5s and take anyone other than 5s, then you're almost always going to lose. And so
Yeah.
that Zeta has a big impact on that, of course. And so I follow your logic there. I can actually get behind that, even though you stink. I kind of get behind it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You can have people in the comments who are like, I don't understand this rivalry. Where was this born?
Wait, what's
What's going on? All right, let's get to the next part of the list here. I'm going to
Let's
go
do
ahead
it.
and move us over here. Let's see here. There we go, so we can see it. All right, 16 is Han Solo. 15, Jedi Knight Anakin. 14, General Kenobi. 13, Chewbacca. 12, Commander Luke. Bastila Shan Fallen in at number 11. Thrawn at number 10. 9, Wat Tambor. His highest appearance on this list, appearing in the top 10 for the first time ever for Wat Tambor. Padme Amidala, Leia's mom, who has got it going on, in at number 8. And then General Grievous at number 7. And Jedi Revan in at number 6. So this next group of 10, 6 through 15. Any thoughts? I want to call out Wat Tambor first. He's finally where he deserves to be. He's been kind of floating around 15 and below since he first came out. I really have felt for a long time like he's a top 10 character, and I'm really happy to see that the pollsters that I have, my experts, weren't putting him there, but the community is putting him in the top 10, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, 100% agreed. The only thing that kind of grabs my attention here too, if we return to the previous list a little bit, I feel like 5s would have been higher than quite a few of these people.
Okay.
But I feel like Thrawn is another one that could have been even maybe placed or replaced, been a little bit higher than I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. Thrawn and Wat are two of those extremely versatile characters.
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
I mean, they're all over the place. So they definitely deserve that top 10 spot. And the fact, again, just like how you said, the fact that Thrawn is in even a top 10 out of like 160, 170 characters is incredible. So I shouldn't give that too much flack.
I feel like Thrawn is the old Wat. Like, Wat is the new version of Thrawn in some ways. I mean, their kits are very, very different. So I don't want to, kit-wise, no. But they are, Thrawn for the longest time was the ultimate plug-in counter for everything. And he still is in a lot of ways, but Wat is more so. Wat is more so. Wat is the new best plug-and-play counter to every meta team out there.
Yep. And he could even, he replaced, 3PO was good, but Wat dominantly took over that role of being able to just give those buffs to anyone, and it benefited everybody. Wat took over of just being the best plug and play character. I feel like Wat and Thrawn are neck and neck. So actually it kind of makes sense. 9 and 10.
Is it really disputable that Wat is the best plug and play character in this game?
I don't think so, especially with the Zeta. Without Zeta to take a bonus turn, that only gets countered by Han, I think, is the only person that counters that.
Yeah.
And to be able to just, start and immediately give someone effectively a pre-taunt, and to give someone bonus turn, and to give someone all that health and protection, fantastic character among all the other stuff that he does, but fantastic character. I don't know if there's anyone that I could say is a better plug and play character.
There's only a few characters that have that pre-taunt, and with Wat Tambor, any tank has a pre-taunt.
Yeah, and it stays that whole time, which gets real annoying. And it crosses factions. You could use Wat, who's a separatist, with crew as the first order. You could literally use him with any tank. It's incredible.
Yep. Best plug and play character game. Okay. Yeah, if we were making this list, best plug and play characters in the game, I think Watt would indeed be number one. All right, let's get to the final top 5. Now, the top 5, I'm just going to call out. This is probably going to be controversial. The public placed the top 5 much differently than the pollsters did. And so I think this is intriguing. I want to kind of analyze a little bit of this on if we agree with this and what the community might be thinking when they voted on this. We had a lot of submissions on this list.
I will disagree
with
everything you say.
Yep. So, okay. All right, here we go. So, number 5, Darth Revan. Number 4, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Number 3, General Skywalker. Number 2, Rey.
Okay.
And then number 1 is Darth Malik. So let's start. I'm going to let you have the floor, Gridden, to talk about the top 5. Do you agree?
The same people, yes. Different order is the only thing that I would change. But I think the top 5, I think that's safe. I would just change the order a little bit.
How'd you change it?
I think the only thing that I would put in there differently, considering all things, I think I would put Kylo above. I think I would put Kylo in first. And the only reason being is Kylo, he can beat every team in arena PvP.
Yes.
He can solo the HSTR, so he's good in raids.
Yep.
The only thing he doesn't have is a ship, but he excels in every aspect of the game. He does have more counters, I would say, than Rey, but ultimately as a single character in and of himself, he does everything that Rey can do and potentially better, apart from holding on defense, I think. But when you bring in the aspect of raids and being able to solo those raids, I feel like that's a huge aspect of him, and all the teams that he can counter by himself. Like he can solo some Grievous teams, he can solo all sorts of teams. I think that's the only one that I would trade. I'd probably do Supreme Leader Ren, then maybe Malik and Skywalker, and then Rey and Revan.
Ooh, interesting. So you would put Rey below Skywalker and Darth Revan?
I think so, just because, again,
that's
considering
fascinating.
all things like how many people can get Rey, like if we're trying to help people, again, if it's a top 25, just
to be fair though, let me quickly interrupt you.
Yeah,
this isn't a list about how easy these characters are to get. It's a list of how good they are. So
so if we remove that completely, then I could see that. I could see that of saying that maybe Ren, Rey, Skywalker, Malik, Darth Revan.
Okay.
Is maybe how I would do it then. But I still think that Kylo is better than 4th.
Do you think so? I pretty much agree with everything you just said. I really like your logic there. One thing I want to call out, by the way, because we talked about ships, the top 6, everyone in the top 6 does not have a ship, by the way.
Yeah.
And so I think this game is trending away from that as emphasis, as a lot of the new ships in this game do not have crew, which I think is great. But anyway, I'm interested, apart from your logic here, seeing Darth Malik in at number 1 and then a Galactic Legend at number 2 and number 4, do you think that the community genuinely believes that that Kylo Ren and Rey are not the number 1 and number 2 characters in this game? Or do you think that there's some kind of bias there? How would you respond to that? Do you think it's anything like that? Or do you think that this is just difference of opinion?
So a lot of people who know me, I hate Galactic Legends. I hate kind of what they did to the game.
You and me both. Screw Galactic Legends.
Screw them. But if you look at it just from like a factual perspective, all personal bias aside, any like moral reasons to hate Galactic Legends, they are the best characters in the game. And I feel like, I mean, what do we know about Rey when it comes to raids? You know, can she solo? I mean, I'm sure she could solo some stuff, of course, but like,
I don't know if we've seen much tested there, but we do know about Kylo. Yeah,
exactly. So we know Kylo can solo the HSTR, which was CG's baby.
Right.
And he solos it. Like, that's incredible. And then the fact that he beats all these other teams, including Rey, is fantastic. Now you could argue between offense versus defense, but I think there could be a little bit of bias, but the fact that they're both in the top 5, I think still says that the community can recognize that they are the better characters. You can still tell people these are the best characters in the game. Now that doesn't take a lot to, deduce, but I think that the fact that they're both in the top 5 says a lot about that. People can still say, yep, they're the better characters. They're the ones that deserve to be up there.
All right. Well, I think that's a kind of mic drop moment. We'll leave it there. Here is the top 25 for the month of May 2020. I actually really like seeing the community's take on this, and I'm going to agree. I do believe that even though I've decided not to go for Galactic Legends, I'm salty about them. It's not my favorite thing in the game at all. I do feel like they are objectively number 1 and number 2 in the game. That's just my kind of perspective on it, though. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Be sure to sub to Gridden if you have not already. He's spitting out some pretty sick Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content. And when I say sick, I mean it's like it's not good.
It's terrible.
I'm just playing. Super good stuff. Go sub to him. Check it out. And as always, my brothers, don't forget